Hey, let's talk about black people having true power in the United States. And I looked up a couple of things that I think that we need to talk about here. We're going to talk about having true power in the United States, and also we're going to talk about what we can do on a yearly basis in order to help our black farmers. And we're going to start off with the true power in the United States. uh, can be viewed from multiple dimensions: social, economic, political, and psychological. However, when we strip away the illusions and focus on the core of what real power and freedom are, it comes down to control, ownership, influence, and self sufficiency. True power is ownership and control. True power in the U.S. lies in ownership of assets, land, businesses, intellectual property. When you are owning something, whether it be land, a business, a media platform, or technology, you can control how it operates, who benefits from it, and how it influence society. The people who own corporations, media networks, banks, real estate often yield the most power in America. They control information, resources, and opportunities, which ultimately shapes society's structure. Economic independence. Power is also measured by financial independence. When you have enough money, resources, and investments that generates passive income, you are no longer dependent on a system or a job for survival. Those who achieve financial freedom have the power to negotiate their own terms, fund their own movements, build communities, and invest in things that directly impact their people. Control over the media and the culture. Whoever controls the media controls the minds of the people. This is why major corporations and powerful families in America have media conglomerates. They control what people see, believe, and ultimately do. True power means controlling your own media platform, television networks, social media channels, news outlets, and publications to shape the public opinion in favor of your community or your interests. Legislative power or political influence. True power is also found in the ability to influence or control legislation that governs society. This is why the wealthiest and the most powerful people in America lobby Congress, fund political campaigns, and influence policymaking to protect their own interests. Individuals or communities that have direct relationships with lawmakers, judges, and politicians can significantly alter the course of their future. Without political power, a community is vulnerable to systemic oppression. We black people should know about that because we've been going through it for years and years. And it's time to change that. Intergenerational wealth transfer. True power is when you pass wealth, resources, knowledge, and opportunities down to your children and grandchildren, allowing them to start life ahead instead of being behind. The wealthiest families in America, like the Rockefellers, the Morgans, the Waltons, and etc., understand that power is maintained generationally by ensuring their descendants control industries, companies, and institutions. Community building and infrastructure. True power comes from having a strong, self sufficient community that can function without external dependency. Building black owned banks, schools, hospitals, tech companies, farms, media platforms who lead to a level of power that prevents external forces from dictating how black people live and thrive. Access to networks or gatekeeping. one of the highest forms of power in America is access to elite networks. These networks control the money, the resources, the opportunities, and the influence. The wealthiest and the most powerful individuals are often part of the exclusive societies, clubs, or alliances that dictate the direction of industries, politics, and social order. True freedom means being able to sustain yourself financially without relying on a job, government assistance, or any external institution. It's about building wealth through businesses, ownership, investment, assets, so you can live life on your own terms. Control your own time. Freedom is when your time is no longer controlled by a clock, a boss, or a system. When you are financially independent, you can control how you spend your time, whether it's traveling, spending time with your family, or creating opportunities for your community. The ability to speak and think freely without fear or punishment. True freedom means having the ability to speak the truth, advocate for the people, and challenge corrupt systems without fear of being silenced or punished, like we have a corrupt system right now in 2025. However, in America, those who speak out against the system often face retaliation, censorship, and exclusion, something that's going on right now in 2025. That now that we got a new president, which is Donald J. Trump. True freedom comes when you have enough power and resources to protect yourself from these consequences. Land ownership and self sustainability. Owning land, property, and agriculture is one of the most important keys to freedom. Land, owning land, property, and agriculture is one of the most important keys to freedom. I'm going to say that one more time. Owning land, property, and agriculture is one of the most important keys to freedom. Land allows you to control your food, your housing, your community development, which prevents dependent and external forces. Intellectual and cultural freedom is when community controls its narrative, the education, the cultural identity without external interference. It is why major institutions often seek to control the education system, the media, and the cultural expressions to ensure that people remain mentally dependent on the dominant system. Spiritual and psychological freedom is also mental freedom, meaning you're not mentally enslaved by systemic propaganda, media conditioning, or social pressure. People who are mentally free can think critically, innovate, and create solutions that empower themselves and their communities. Generation autonomy. True freedom means that the future generations do not have to struggle for basic survival. It means breaking the cycle of poverty and ensuring that your children and grandchildren inherit wealth, resources, and opportunity, allowing them to thrive without dependency. Black communities in particular have been systemically deprived of power through redlining, mass incarceration, predatory lending, educational suppression, and limited access to capital. True power and freedom has historically been reserved